Quick warning before this begins, I probably will spoil a lot of these, so I will list them and if I recommend them in a pinned comment below. When I was younger, my family had a collection of Christmas movies and I would rewatch the same ones every single year. But then a few years back, I got kind of sick of that, so I just stopped. But it felt like I was betraying this tradition. So this year, I'm seeing if I can find any new Christmas movies that I haven't seen before that I could watch and enjoy the tradition, but like modify it a little bit and not repeat the same ones over and over. So this is my journey to find new good Christmas movies. Let's begin. The first movie is called Christmas Again on Disney+. I give this one 1.5 out of 5 stars. It's about this girl, Ro, who has a terrible Christmas where her dad is about to get remarried and brings his fiance over for Christmas. Her grandparents are gassy, which made me think I was watching a Nickelodeon movie for a second because they're the king of fart jokes. But I guess Disney is getting in on that now too. Yay. There's a bowl that falls in a scene much like the Spirit Stick scene in Bring It On. She freaks out over how bad her day is, and then she gets stuck reliving it over and over again. She tries faking enjoyment to break the cycle, but time doesn't actually move forward again until she really appreciates the day naturally. This one is pretty average. I'm not mad that I spent time watching it, but I wouldn't jump for joy over it either, and I'll probably never rewatch it. Quick side note has to do with the smiles. The entire movie, I was thinking how out of place Rose's smile felt until at 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 35 seconds. The camera pans to her entire family smiling with the creepiest fucking smiles on their faces. It felt like it was about to end as a horror movie. Next is Alien Xmas on Netflix. I gave this one 2.5 out of 5 stars. This one reminds me of a mixture of a bunch of different shows and movies slapped together. It starts with an alien going to Earth, much like the first episode of Invader Zim. When the alien lands on Earth, it's Christmas time, and he's so fascinated with the scenery, like in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Then while he's robbing the decorations, a little girl catches him, like in The Grinch. It's definitely not original, but it's an okay watch. Next is A Christmas Mystery, the 2022 version on HBO Max. In this one, the town has special jingle bells, and this little girl's dad's friend gets arrested for stealing them. The girl knows he didn't do it, so she works the case and finds out who did. It's a very Nancy Drew-esque Christmas movie, and I enjoyed it. Next is Scooby-Doo Haunted Holidays on HBO Max. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. One of the VHSs in my childhood Christmas collection was a few Scooby-Doo holiday specials, and this one wasn't included, so I figured I'd give it a shot. It's your typical Scooby-Doo mystery with a snowman threatening a toy store until the meddling kids crack the case. I love Scooby, so I definitely recommend this. Next is A Christmas Dream on HBO Max. I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. This is a short, silent, black and white film from 1945. A little girl wishes her doll to come alive, and then it does and performs a little number for her. It's like the original Toy Story. I can't decide if it's creepy or not. Does someone get intoxicated, watch this, and let me know how it goes? I'm curious. Next is Ice Age, A Mammoth Christmas on Disney+. I gave this one 3.5 out of 5 stars. Sid accidentally ruined Christmas and everyone goes to help Santa fix things. I really enjoyed this, but it is full of all of the cliches that I was trying to get away from. But I do think this series does a lot better in short form. Next is Prep and Landing on Disney+. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. This one is about 2 elves who do all of the prep work at the kids' houses before Santa arrives. One doesn't get a promotion that he really wanted, so he slacks off on the job and makes a kid nearly miss Christmas. I like it, it's cute, and a fun concept. It nearly made me cry, but again, it is full of Christmas cliches. Next is Prep and Landing, Operation Secret Santa on Disney+. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. Mrs. Claus sends the boys on a mission to get a special box from Santa's office that has a part of the first toy he ever made so she can fix it and give it to him as a present. Next is Prep and Landing, Naughty vs. Nice on Disney+. I Gave this one 3.5 out of 5 stars. Here, we're introduced to the team that goes to the naughty kids' homes and leaves them cold. One of them gets teamed up with the prep and landing boys. A kid hacks the system to move to the nice list. It's not as good as the first two, but it's still good, so I would recommend. Next, I watched Mickey's Christmas Carol on Disney+. I gave this one 2.5 out of 5 stars. This one is definitely very unoriginal. It's just the Christmas Carol story, but with the classic Disney characters in it. It's not a bad watch, but it's nothing new. Next, I watched Home Alone 2, Lost in New York on Disney+, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars. I never understood why the first one was so popular. It's really sad when you think about it. I can't remember if I've seen the sequel before, but I'm pretty sure I haven't. Surprisingly, I actually enjoyed this. The family remembers Kevin this time, but Kevin goes on a different plane and enjoys a solo vacation in New York. Kevin walking around New York City alone in the middle of the night is terrifying. In real life, baby Macaulay Culkin would have been snatched up instantly. Also, he photographs the bad guys with a Polaroid camera through a window with a flash on and from a rooftop. And I don't know if you know anything about Polaroid cameras, but I have a few. And if it's more than 6 feet away, you're not seeing it. And if you take a picture through glass with the flash on, you're not seeing that either. I think I mostly like this one because of Kevin's new friendship with the pigeon lady, and it's so wholesome. That, and I love Tim Curry, although I did not love his character in this, and I'm starting to get why people hate Rob Schneider. Next, I watched Home Alone 3 on Disney+. I gave this one 2.5 out of 5 stars. This is where the series starts to get repetitive. They replace Macaulay Culkin, which is a tragedy, but overall it's okay. Wouldn't really recommend it unless you have a deep love for Scarlett Johansson, because she's in it for about 2 minutes. Next is Home Alone 4 on Disney+, which I gave 0.5 out of 5 stars. Absolute trash. They replace all of the actors, but try to pretend it's the same family as the first two, only the parents have been divorced for 8 months. The dad ran off to get his dick wet in some rich lady, and then runs back to his wife, who acts grateful to have him back. Ew. No, don't take him back. That's just gross. Respect yourself and tell him to fuck off. Next is Home Alone, The Holiday Heist on Disney+. I give this one 1.5 out of 5 stars. I'm glad they didn't claim to be the McAllisters this time, but the only nice part was the friendship with the gamer. And even that is creepy when you think about it, because he was able to hack that kid's account to find his parents. Next is Home Sweet Home Alone on Disney+, which I gave 1 out of 5 stars. I feel like they made so many of these to the point where they were just like, oh, what if this kid is British? And then we got this. They way overly tried to modernize this, and it just killed my soul. I'm definitely not a fan of this one and would not recommend. Next is the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special on Disney+. I gave 5 out of 5 stars. Drax and Mantis go to Earth to kidnap Kevin Bacon and gift him to Peter. I love this. It's so lighthearted and fun. Definitely a unique spin on Christmas movies, and I would recommend. Next, I watched Sonic Christmas Blast on Paramount+, which I gave 2 out of 5 stars. Sonic saves Christmas from a Santa imposter. Pretty generic. Overall, I wouldn't really recommend. Next was The Cat in the Hat Knows a Lot About Christmas on Amazon Prime. Gave this one 1.5 out of 5 stars. This might be a lot better for preschool-age children, but I graduated from preschool a few years ago, so it was kind of annoying to me. There are a lot of songs, and it's extremely educational, and it was just hard to get through. Next is Richie Rich's Christmas Wish on Disney+, which I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. I purposely didn't watch the original movie right before this in hopes that the huge time gap between viewings would help me enjoy this more, and I think that worked. Richie makes a wish that he had never been born, and a wishing machine puts him in a parallel reality where that's true. The special effects in this are pristine, but I'm bummed to not have Macaulay Culkin as Richie Rich. Next was Waffles and Mochi Holiday Feast on Netflix, which I gave 0.5 out of 5 stars. I feel about this how I feel about Sausage Party. I went in expecting a cutesy show about talking food and was deeply disturbed by what I actually got. In this case, it's kind of like a documentary on food, and as a vegan, I typically avoid food shows. I wasn't expecting to see fish get slaughtered. Definitely not a fan of this and hate that I watched it at all. Next is Rob Robin on Netflix, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars. A robin is raised by a family of mice and doesn't realize she's a bird. It's sweet and I love it visually, and it's not shoving Christmas down my throat, so I approve. Next, we have A Cinderella Story, Christmas Wish on Netflix. Gave this one 3.5 out of 5 stars. I am aware that this is a really bad movie and that the ending is so beyond cheesy, but I fucking love shit like that. It's like every other Cinderella movie, but with a Christmas twist. Next is The Christmas Chronicles on Netflix. I gave this one 4.5 out of 5 stars. This has the cliche story of kids accidentally ruining Christmas and then they have to save Christmas. But for some reason, it doesn't feel like the same movie I've seen a million times before. I can't really explain it, but it has a darker feel to it, and I enjoyed that a lot. Next is The Christmas Chronicles Part 2 on Netflix. I gave this one 3.5 out of 5 stars. This one is a notch down from the first. They throw in the Christmas cliche of the parent having a new partner, but that's okay. It's a similar concept to the first one, but it doesn't have enough of the brother, and I really liked what he added to the first movie. And the 25th movie on the list is Spookily and the Christmas Kittens on Netflix. I gave this one 1.5 out of 5 stars. This is like an animated, really badly scripted Homeward Bound movie. I could see it being fun for preschoolers, but I'm not finding much enjoyment in it as an adult. In the end, I did find a few that were good that I would possibly rewatch in the future. I do definitely enjoy the Guardians of the Galaxy one, and that one's probably my favorite, but it was fun to explore new ones, even the ones that weren't that great.